The Habit of Saving by Next Level Thinking. Have no limits on your ambitions. Fix in your mind that your ability is limited to a certain salary and you will never earn more than that, because of the law of habit sets up a limitation in the amount you can earn. Know what you want and believe you will get it. First, set up a definite description of what you want, including the amount of money you want to earn. Your subconscious mind takes this and will mold your thoughts and actions into practical plans for attaining purpose. You are destroying poverty consciousness and setting up prosperity consciousness. You will begin to demand prosperity and you receive it, paving your way to the habit of saving. You will begin to demand prosperity and will receive it, paving your way to the habit of saving. We are victims of habit. Any idea held in the mind or permitted to enter the mind through environment or others will cause us to act in the nature of those ideas. From the habit of thinking and talking of prosperity and abundance, and very soon material evidence of these will begin to manifest itself in the nature of wider opportunity and new and unexpected opportunities. Like attracts like. If you are in business and have formed the habit of talking and thinking about business being bad, business will be bad. It is a terrible thing to be owned by someone based on debt. Accumulating debt is a habit. It starts in small ways and grows out of proportion slowly until it takes charge of one's life. There are two kinds of debt. One, there is debt for luxuries, which is a loss. This should be avoided. Debt used for business and profit. This debt may be good temporarily, but make sure to use judgment and caution. The moment one buys beyond the limits, they become speculative, and that usually ends in ruin rather than riches. One negative state of mind usually attracts other similar states of mind. For example, the fear of poverty tends to attract the fear of ill health and the fear of old age. The person finds themselves in poverty, in poor health, and becoming older faster. To whip the fear of poverty, one must take two very definite steps, providing one is in debt. First, quit the habit of buying on credit, and follow this by gradually paying off the debts that you've already incurred. Once you are out of debt, you can form habits of prosperity. As part of your definite chief aim, have the habit of saving a part of your income. This habit will begin to form in your mind and you will enjoy it. A habit may be destroyed by replacing it with a more desirable habit. Spending must be replaced with saving to attain financial independence. Many people go far in success, but stumble and fall and never rise back up because they lacked money in emergency. Savings accounts are essentials to success. Without one, a person has no ability to seize opportunities that come with some ready cash. Secondly, about lacking funds during emergencies. This is a chart how money grows. We'll have a picture of this on my website. It's a little hard to read unless you're like reading it in a book or something, so I'll put it on my website so you can read it better. But it's insane how much money you could save. Small savings bring opportunity. Some say that nobody can become rich by saving a few dollars a week. This may be true in theory, but the other side of the story is that by saving a small sum of money, someone can take advantage of business opportunities that lead to financial independence. Most think of what they will spend with money rather than what they will save. Saving requires self control and sacrifice, which is unpleasant to most, while most are thrilled to spend. The habit of saving can be made as fascinating as the habit of spending. This can be done by regular and systematic habit. We like doing what we have been doing. How much one saves depends on many conditions, some of which may be in their control and others not. Generally, one should save as follows. Generally speaking, a man who works for a salary should appropriate his income as follows. Savings account 20%, living, clothes, food and shelter 50%, education 10%, recreation 10%, life insurance 10%. Excessive spending on recreation is often evil because it depletes income heavily and can deplete health in the case of alcohol or drug abuse. Hill lectured at 41 high schools. The principals of this high school said less than 2% of students had a tendency to save and only 5% of 11,000 students believe saving was essential for success. It is not difficult to become rich because most blow every cent of their money away. Give the average man $2,500 and expect him. What does he do with it? He thinks of ways to spend it. Dozens of things he thinks he needs will flash into his mind, but it will never occur to him to save it unless he has developed the habit of saving. He will have spent or decided how to spend it by the end of the night. If a person follows the habit of saving a portion of their income, they will become financially independent. But if a person saves nothing, they will not become financially independent no matter their income. How to get hired at any job. Hill went to apply to a newspaper agency. The chief editor said, "How can I pay you? I can barely afford to live." He said he would work for only minimum wage for a week. And then if he did good for that week, then his wage was increased the next week until Hill was able to get the newspaper agency to be more profitable. At the end of 2 months, Hill was paid $1,250 a week. The more money you make, the higher percent should be spent on saving in clothing for better appearance, and group entertainment to attract others who are more wealthy. A single person to save considerably more than a person with a family could save on the same amounts. It is common for families to purchase vehicles on monthly payments higher than their income. They should curb their desires and buy a more affordable car. Most believe that you need a better car with a higher income and go into debt because of this is fatal to financial independence. Because of installment plans of buying, it has become easy to purchase anything one wants, but it also causes the tendency to overspend. There is no virtue in keeping up with the neighbors when it means sacrificing and saving your income. It is better in the long run to be a little behind the times than to go along with others in youth without forming the habit of saving. There is nothing as humiliating as poverty in old age when someone has no marketable services anymore and must rely on relatives or charitable organizations. You must save when you are young. Save instead of wasting all your money on entertainment. Forming the saving habit means you must generally seclude yourself from people who enjoy you without spending excessive amounts of money on entertainment on your part. People who form the habit of saving are usually given preference in higher positions of employment, which means saving can give you more money in the bank now and later due to decreased expenses, but also higher salary. When Woolworth first started his 5 and 10 cent store plan, he had no capital, but he turned to a few friends who had saved, by the closest sort of economy and great sacrifice, a few $1,000s. These friends staked him, and later they were paid back hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits. Rockefeller was an ordinary bookkeeper. He conceived the idea of developing the oil business, which was not even considered a business. He needed capital, and because he had developed the habit of saving and had thereby proved that he could conserve the funds of other people's, he had no difficulty borrowing what money he needed. It is often that having just $5,000 to $7,500 is enough to achieve financial independence. A young investor was held back by money. He had not saved his money, and therefore he couldn't borrow money from a bank. He borrowed $5,000 he needed from a friend, and then he sold his invention from door to door for $25,000. He sold his business later for $6,400,000 6 years later, starting from $5,000. Back of practically every great fortune one may find, as its beginning, a well-developed habit of saving money. Most businessmen will not trust another man with their money unless he has demonstrated his ability to take care of his own and use it wisely. The late J.P. Morgan once said they would rather loan $1,000,000 to a man of sound character who had formed the habit of saving money than he would $1,000 to a man without character who was a spendthrift. There is no real freedom without financial independence. It is a terrible thing to be compelled to work at a task one doesn't like every working day for a whole lifetime. This is similar to a prison since one's actions are limited. The only hope of escape from this is the habit of saving money. That was The Habit of Saving by Next Level Thinking.